Just doing a check-in with everybody to see how that new moon in Aries was treating everyone. Hopefully you set some intentions. This is a really powerful one. We haven't ever seen this astrology actually in our lifetime, and it's pretty potent. We have nothing in retrograde. Aries is the initiator. Aries is also the planet of war and battle. This is my perception from today, especially. If you have balanced your masculine and feminine, things are kind of fun right now, in a quick, a little bit stressful way. But it seems like if there is an imbalance, like we're being forced to look at it, right? Because of the energies, the masculine and feminine energies are sort of like equal parts right now. What I wanted to talk about was the very first video that I did on this channel was asking people to consider their perspective on things. I didn't really have the language for it. It was before I started studying NLP, and I didn't realize that our brains were programmed at that time. I've learned a lot, or just kind of all evolving and learning as we do, and now it makes a lot of sense to me that our mental programming, that's what it is. It's our pictures and our programming that we see the lens. It's how we are projecting. Think of information as coming through our brains, as the channel is the brain, and the program will allow us to see or not see things in real time, right? And we've been taught to shut off part of the program. Part of our natural programming is our subtle senses, or our clairs and natural intuition, which we've been cut off from, or we've been taught to ignore, because that's crazy. Remember Phoebe from Friends and all of her woo-woo? That we were taught, that's stupid, it's crazy, don't pay attention to it. It's not real. But actually that's the real gift. And when we realize we have access to those, and that's what's coming online right now. That's what I want to fast forward and say. Pardon me. This is important. Our brain programming, we're both the avatar and the coder, the architect. We're both hemispheres of the brain, all the dualities, the mirror images, the masculine, feminine, everything is duality in the dual world that we live in, right? When you hear, or when it said, I believe, the quote, let the mind be the faithful servant to the soul, to the higher mind. So I studied with Dolores Cannon, and I learned a practice called quantum healing hypnosis. And she used to say in class that you got to shut stupid up. She called it stupid. She called the ego mind stupid. She's like, dumb doesn't know what he's talking about. She's talking about whatever. Like, don't let that ego mind talking. Become in control. You don't want that part of the brain to lead. And that's what we've been taught has the intelligence. And that's what we've been taught is supposed to lead. And that's why we're full of anxiety. We're overstressed. We're cut off with dysregulated nervous systems. We're all living in fight or flight. We're all in survival. How are we supposed to thrive when we're all in, all of us, some of us aren't, systemically, it's a hierarchy. That's not true. It's not true. People aren't better than anybody else. More money doesn't necessarily make anybody better than anybody else. And yet there is an embodied, it's not even an idea. This is an embodied mentality that a lot of people have, and they live from it. And right now there's a question that the universe is asking: where's your power? Where do you hold power? And where are you abusing that power? Because when no one else is watching, the universe is watching, and that goes somewhere. That means something. That's the law of karma, right? You don't always see it, but energy always balances itself out. Just watch nature. It'll prove itself to you. We want proof? Look at nature. You want proof in reincarnation? Look at nature. You want It's all right there. And the fact that we've been programmed not to even see it, to be in our mental prisons, don't look outside of those doors, don't explore outside of those realms. You know, you might be perceived as crazy. They'll lock you up in the loony bins, which actually somebody sent me something recently saying how, and we knew the witch trials were to shut women up and get them away from using their intuitive gifts, and men too. And their whole, all of the Gnosticism practicing and literally being burned. And we were probably there with that. The thing is the witch wound is real. I contend with it too. But this is what I was shown, and I might have even talked about this in a previous video here, but I was doing a meditation and I saw the Milky Way galaxy, and it sort of lifted up, and then it was like being hit by this light. And I knew intuitively that the light was coming from the galactic center, and that we were receiving information to our central sun, and the whole galaxy is being illuminated with this light. So the words that I got were, the message that I got was, you're not going to be stoned this time, because more people can see the truth. They can see and not be afraid, move from fear and stone you and burn you and hang you, because you're going to be supported by the collective. This is the age of Aquarius. This is the age in which we collectively band together. All of the solutions are going to start with us. They're going to start from the ground. They're going to start with humans, because the people who have been running the show are monsters. They really are, in more ways than you know. Almost literally. Literally they are. And the world is not what we think it is. And the reason that we have all this fascination with these Marvel movies and all these superhero movies is because we are that we are, there's a part of our intuition that tells us that we are something so much more than what we have been told and taught, and how to operate from the systems that we do. And that's falling away. It's uncovering, it's shedding layers of distortion. We're creating coherence. We're learning alchemy, that we are vessels. We are the grail. The Holy Grail is within us. And the more we illuminate inward, the more we go in and explore the inner realms, right? Meditation and all those things that are uncomfortable, because they're just so unnatural to us. You know, the ancients knew these things, and the the esoteric knowledge is out there. But again, it's discredited, and it's been largely shrouded, buried. It's literally been buried. The Dead Sea Scrolls weren't excavated until, like, I don't know, what was it, the 60s, something like that? They didn't even give us information. And all of this stuff about, other dimensional beings, and we're going to start to perceive it. People might start to feel like they're crazy or going crazy, because we have more access to the spectrum of light than we did before, and we're evolving. Our DNA is actually evolving. So when people start to perceive these things, they're going to feel like they're going crazy when they've been taught to ignore their subtle senses. They've been taught to ignore their intuition. They've been taught to ignore their clairaudience. What if they start to hear their inner ears start? So I've been starting to get these, anyway, I'm not going to talk about my stuff, because I don't want anybody to point the finger at me about feeling or looking or any crazy. I told you I had that wish wound. Anyway, I'm very, very sane and rational to the degree in which we consider that to be. But I'm not going to be quiet anymore. My passion in this Aries has ignited me to do this. My whole purpose of starting this channel was to ignite my missing element, my missing fire. And now I'm not going to shut up. Because this is who I am. This is my authentic thing. I've always known, I guess since I was a kid, that I was going to be doing something like this in a way. It just didn't make sense. But I'm starting a land conservation project, and I'll record it. I'll record it for posterity, and to bring you guys along with me to get excited about it. I might even start maybe a GoFundMe page. Who knows? All I know is it starts with us, and I can't idly sit by and watch the powers that be take over, or not take over. They already had taken over, but like continue to try and run, a show that is literally falling apart in front of our eyes. And I'm sorry, but like human trafficking and the degree in which they are operating has now become surface level. There's no more calling me a conspiracy theorist. There's no more, attacking me for bringing truth to the surface, right? It's already there. And it's ugly as hell. So, which is exactly what it is. And they'll have their own things to contend with, but stop feeding the beast. I wrote a poem called Starve the Beast, and it is really talking about stop feeding into it. They call it loosh. Look up the word, or I don't even know if it's an actual word, but people call it, what you're feeding, the dark energy, basically. It's how is it attaching you to the matrix? It's what keeps you stuck to the matrix. Think of it as a grid. Remember the movie Tron? They give us the truth, and movies in plain sight, movies and shows in plain sight. That's part of my poem. But there's a grid, right? And this grid structure, it ties us to it. That's why when I did that, so I don't have it on YouTube anymore, but on Instagram I have a video of me doing, it's a somatic release, but it's also energy work. It's light language. It's channeling. I'm an antenna, really. I have music on, and it's like clearing the energy in my body. But it's much more than that. And that's what I'll tell you it is right now. But this is important for us to see and be doing. And I'm going to show you more of it, and I'm going to be hosting more of it. But my land conservation project is on its way. I'm, hoping to do a food forest. I went and met with Jim Gale, who lives in St. Cloud, and he's off grid. My friend Christy and I went there a couple of weeks ago and chatted with him and got to tour his little mini eco village. And that's the way of the future. He is a pioneer, and I fully support what he's endeavoring to do, and he will do it. He's doing it. He's making it loud so that the powers that be have to be called out. And that's what we're going to have to do. They're going to have to be called out. Every single one of us know that it's not fair that the people who are paying taxes are struggling while the people who should be paying taxes, who actually can comfortably do it and live, aren't. We live in a world that is not just, and it's set up by the people that rule over us, basically. And we're going to have to fix it. If we keep trying to vote in a solution, if you want to go down with a sinking ship, be my guest. You're going to feel it too, and it'll feel like you're drowning, slow death. So come on board. No, don't come on board. Get off the sinking ship, and come to my land. Start growing food with me, even if it's in a little way. I started trying to grow microgreens, and I'm still trying. I've done it. No, I haven't done it. I haven't done the microgreens yet, but I've grown stuff. Anyway, I'll figure it out. It's like the tiniest green is giving me the biggest challenge. I can grow like a cantaloupe or something, So anyway, if you're interested in starting some sort of food co-op, or my vision is to, I don't want to share my whole vision, but my vision is to help feed and sustain people and the planet, and live in what they now, I just found this community. It's the Peace Tribe, and they call it a net positive community. So I'm going to go learn about that. Maybe I'll bring you along with me tomorrow. I'm super excited, and it's a way forward. It gives me hope. It brings me joy. It makes me feel like it's allowing me to live my purpose. And where I felt like I didn't want to be seen because I was so worried about being criticized and judged before, I don't care now. So let me know if you have anything else you'd love to add to this conversation, or if you'd like to be a part of it or anything like that. But I appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I send so much love and joy and peace to you. Till next time, namaste.